Pani ta panove, dobry den. Maju za čest sahodni buti tut. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First and foremost, I would just like to present the regards and wishes on behalf of the UN Resident Coordinator, Ms. Denise Brown, who unfortunately is still out of the country and therefore cannot be with us today. The 19th of June is a significant day for us to reflect on progress and to plan the future steps in combating the horrific crime that is conflict-related sexual violence. This requires an immense collaborative effort among local authorities, international organizations, and equally importantly, civil society. Collectively, we are making progress, but there's still more work that needs to be done. Since the onset of Russia's full-scale invasion, the UN in Ukraine has been actively engaged in responding to CRSV. This is because upholding human rights is in the DNA of the United Nations. For us, the focus is on ensuring that survivors of these horrific crimes receive the support and the protection that they need. I wish to underline the importance of the strategic leadership of the Office of the Vice Prime Minister, because it is through auspices of her office that all what we're doing has been made possible 2 years ago. This started with the signing of the framework of cooperation between the government of Ukraine and the United Nations on preventing and responding to conflict-related sexual violence. This happened literally 2 years ago in May 2022. But this was not only a document, this was a declaration of the need to ensure action to respond. Upon the request of the Office of the Vice Prime Minister, 2 years ago, the first Survivor Relief Center was opened in Zaporizhia. What now we have is a network of 12 static survivor relief centers and 3 mobile units that provide confidential, quality, and humane support to survivors. Each of these centers has its unique story, but they're all sharing one strong commitment to a holistic, comprehensive, and human-centered approach. For those unable to physically reach one of these centers, there's also an online platform called Aurora to provide emergency psychosocial support. The UN system in its whole and its entirety is working together to address the consequences and the impact of CRSV on the population. Last year, the first ever interagency collaboration was initiated with funding from the UN Action, involving a number of UN agencies, the World Health Organization, International Organization for Migration, UNDP, as well as UN Women. This is because as a UN family, we bring different skills, different knowledge, different approaches that need to be brought all together in a coordinated manner to provide the comprehensive support that survivors, their families, and their communities require. Working together with the Office of the Prosecutor General, they've been documenting many cases of violations of human rights, including sexual violence and conflict perpetrated by the Russian armed forces. This violence has been perpetrated on women, on girls, on men, on boys. Nobody has been exempted from the risk of this heinous act. Today, as an FPA, we are honored of a partnership that we have with the Office of the High Commission of Human Rights, represented today by Mr. Daniel Bell, the head of mission for the OHCHR in Ukraine. You heard numbers, but each number is one unique story. But you also heard that those numbers do not represent the full reality that we are confronted with. We need to recognize that individuals will take time to open up and discuss their specific experiences. This requires a long-term, dedicated and committed, comprehensive approach to improve the conditions of survivors, their recovery, and their quest for justice. As the United Nations, we remain steadfast in our commitment to upholding the human rights and supporting the survivors of CRSV. To the government, to the civil society, you can count on us to be your partners throughout this journey. We long for a world where human rights, dignity are respected for all. On 19 June, we reiterate our commitment to see the end of sexual violence and conflict in Ukraine and anywhere else in the world. We work for the survivors, we work with the survivors, we work for the benefit of survivors. And as the slogan of the SRSC says, even the strong need support. Тому що сильні також пробують підтримки. Дякую.